are going to watch this cutscene. Let's watch some supports, and then we're gonna get to our first paralogue. I really like the paralogues in this game, so I want to make sure to get through all the ones we open up. There you go. All right. These loads, I can't, it's just, these loads take forever.
I have a message, Your Majesty. The Imperial Army has begun an assault on former Arendelle territory.
Oh, noes.
They've caught on to us.
And? How does Arendelle fare?
The force we sent to bolster their defenses still holds the castle, but they're under considerable pressure and may not hold out much longer.
Oof.
That bad, huh? Could they have planted spies in our midst at the fortress?
Even were that the case, this would be an odd turn of events. We left sizable reserves guarding both Aryan Road and Arendelle. Under those circumstances, Felix's unit alone would seem enough to keep the enemy at bay.
But this enemy marches under the flag of the Black Eagles. They appear to be the Emperor's personal battalion.
What? Oh, crap.
Edelgard's trying to seize Aryan Road personally?
The Emperor has panache, I'll give her that. It takes some real guts to confront the Kingdom and Alliance simultaneously. If you ask me, it feels like quite a roll of the dice for us to keep focusing on the West, while the Imperial threat marches towards us unchecked.
Well, I think we need to continue suppressing the Western Rebellion, because if we don't take care of that problem, we're not going to have a home to come back to, so...
Still, it seems like we should be taking care of our own business in the West before we turn our attention to Aryan Road.
Agreed. If we don't quell this rebellion, the very kingdom could collapse in on itself. Of course, we can't turn a blind eye to the Empire's attack either, but taking the sword to these insurrectionists must be our top priority.
Indeed. Considering the relative urgencies of both situations, the trouble in the West takes precedence.
I could say ya.
That said, the thought of Aryan Road falling into her hands is a difficult one to stomach.
It is.
Send forth the Knights of Seros, then. We may be few in number, but even a small force can be all the difference when defending a siege. And given the debt we owe you, the Archbishop will surely not refuse you this favor.
Thank you, Sedith. I'll send an envoy to her at once. Go to Lady Rhea and request reinforcements from the knights at both Arendelle and Aryan Road. Tell her, if Arendelle proves too difficult to pacify, her knights should not hesitate to abandon it. If such an eventuality comes, they're to fall back to Aryan Road and hold the fortress with the others. Understood?
Yes, Your Majesty.
We don't have time to be sitting on our hands either. Let's hurry up and end this rebellion.
Right you are. There's not a moment to waste. We'll begin our war council at once.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting. Okay, so... Oh, shit. Can't hold more supplies. Oh, yeah.
Greetings!
I found some real treasures again today. I'll be setting up shop at your camp, so look for me there. Alright, so we got Anna. Seems the residents fled somewhere. They left some useful items behind. Ugh. Yeah, oh, I thought it might have been the storms, because on Tuesday, before I started to stream, we had some really bad storms come through, like, really bad. And I always I thought, well, by the time you were having the issues, it might have been the storms hitting you. Those storms. You heard a scream pierce the air. Leave him be. I don't have time for this. I gotta go. We gotta watch some supports. We gotta watch some supports, and then I gotta talk to all the people in town.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army.
Got all those.
Everything has its use.
We gotta watch some supports here, so. Oh my god. So many. Alright, I want to do this Mercedes one because I didn't... it was locked out of it the last time, so.
Is it much further, Mercedes? We'll likely need to rest soon.
We're just about there. See? It's right over that hill.
I had no idea there was a village here.
Actually, I used to live in this village once upon a time. You can see the church where I stayed in the distance.
It is a place of stunning beauty and quiet. It almost feels like coming home somehow.
Oh, Mercedes! It's been so long! Come to visit your mother, have you?
It has been a while, hasn't it? And no, I'm mostly here to show my friend around.
My, what a handsome young man! Are you with the Knights of Saros?
He's only the king.
What? Oh, no. I'm the kingdom's... I'm a member of their army.
Oh.
You don't say. Guess that means you work closely with our Mercedes
I think they're
here.
they're in the Empire. They have to be.
Well, if you've got the time, go pop into the church. I'm sure the priest and little ones will be delighted to see you.
Absolutely. Also, I do want to say hello to Mother, since we've come all this way.
I always find it nerve-wracking to meet friends of friends.
Oh, she's harmless. She works over at the church. My mother and I owe her a lot. There are many people there who share similar circumstances to our own. Too many, I'm afraid. Still, the priest accepts anyone and everyone who comes to him for aid.
Such open-mindedness is rare in these times. I wonder if it's because of the church's teachings.
You know, this village would look very different had you not accepted the central church.
Oh, so it is the kingdom. This is where she fled to.
I've heard the most unpleasant rumors about the southern church, and I don't know how to govern all these villages myself.
I realize you know far more than me when it comes to things like politics and war. But I still thought it was important for you to see what you're protecting with your own eyes.
Which is why you insisted I accompany you. To be honest, I have no idea how the war will change Fodlan. But I will do everything in my power to protect this place, and all others like it.
Thank you, Dimitri. Let's head on over to the church. There are some wonderful views on the way there. There are fields of flowers, beautiful brooks. Goodness, so many things I want to show you. Oh, and I need to say hello to my mother and the priest while we're at the church.
I suppose I should give them my regards as well. Considering I hold your life in my hands as your commanding officer.
My, you're so nervous. Perhaps you should let me handle the introductions.
Oh, jeez.
I'll just tell them you're someone very important to me.
Wait, Mercedes. That may lead to some untoward conclusions.
Yes.
Sorry, it was just a joke, I promise. I didn't mean to fluster you.
Yes, you did.
Still, I much prefer this Dimitri to the scowly one I always seem to see.
You are a master of catching me off balance, Mercedes.
Can you imagine, like, just this small little village and the king comes to visit? Ugh. Oh, Felix. Probably should do that one.
How long are you going to keep staring blankly like an idiot? You should eat.
You're right. My apologies.
Let me guess, you're in a tizzy about how best to make use of the church's forces. Or maybe you're just worried about how our forces will survive the winter. Well, knock it off. A good leader knows when to let their vassals do the worrying for them.
Is that why you left your uncle in charge of House Fraldarius?
Yes. Though I've been returning to the territory the moment any issues arise with his governance.
And your mother? Is she in good health? I imagine it's difficult to manage all the family squabbles on her own.
Oh, she's fine. She's good at that sort of thing. I actually think she likes it. I suggest you focus on your own issues for once, instead of worrying about everyone else.
I'm not sure that's possible. Oh, but that does remind me. I hear the Knights wanted to hold a joint training session.
Forget it. You'll never change. I'd tell you to stop brooding so much, but I'd be wasting my breath.
I cannot afford to lose this war, Felix. I must protect the kingdom. I must avenge the fallen. Each day, we draw ever closer to those who pulled the actual strings. I've already punished any who knew of the plan and did nothing, as well as a number of middle-rank conspirators. But it isn't enough. There are still those who must answer for this crime with their lives.
You are a book with one chapter and no ending. What will you do when you actually have this revenge of yours?
I don't know. But if I can quell their grief and their hate, it will be enough. Do you hate me, Felix?
Oh my god.
After all, I saw Glenn die. I watched it and could do nothing. His end lies on my shoulders.
I don't think Felix hates him.
That's enough. I don't hate you, okay? You weren't responsible for any of that. They didn't die for your sake. They made their own choices of their own free will. Don't be so conceited.
But surely they didn't want to die. Yet they did so to protect me. Me. I am undeserving of such sacrifice.
I told you to quit brooding and eat. Your food's going to rot if you wait any longer.
Yes, of course.
Yes, he would have. And Dimitri has got to get out of this. I am not worth it. Well, I just want to shake him and be like, listen, just snap out of it. But I don't know. Okay. Who else we got here? Ooh, Rodrigue. Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk to Rodrigue.
Well, if it isn't our mercenary friend, I trust you've adjusted to life in the kingdom by now.
Yeah, more or less. I've been here a few times before on the job, so it's not too big a shock. But I've never lived as far north as Ferdiad. There's still a bunch I need to get used to. Stuff like the wind blowing straight through you, or how it's always so stupidly cold, even inside, or how you can't go out after a blizzard. It snowed so much one night that I couldn't even open the door in the morning. Thought I was off to meet the goddess that day.
An amusing enough story when you tell it like that. But Fargus winters are no joke. They're harsh, unforgiving beasts. Tell me, have you grown to despise the cold?
Stop it, he said. No! I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh, it's miserable. Bet I'm not the only person who thinks that way either, seeing how much it snows. I honestly used to think it was some kind of beautiful magic when I was a kid. But I realize now just how rough the stuff can be.
Exactly.
To be frank, I'm not fond of the snow myself. Not to mention the countless lives we've lost to the bitter chill of winter. Nevertheless, this brutal tundra is the only home we have. Meaning there's nothing to do but adapt, persevere, and enjoy the lives we've built here.
Adapt? Like how the messengers ride Pegasi instead of horses during the winter?
Exactly. The sight of those majestic creatures soaring through the frost-ridden sky is one unique to Fargus. No matter how much snow blankets the ground, our Pegasi quite literally rise to the occasion. When my son and His Majesty were still just boys, they followed one off into the frigid mountains of all places. By the time I found them, they were but two shivering masses on the ground. For a moment, I thought my heart would never beat again.
So Felix has been getting into trouble ever since he was a kid, huh?
His penchant for danger is unchanged, yes. Though I fear his disposition has grown far sharper. The hardships of becoming Duke at his age are undoubtedly weighing upon his mind.
I don't know. I don't think you need to worry about him. He can take care of himself just fine.
A fair point. Perhaps it's time I let him spread his wings like the Pegasus he chased all those years ago. It seems the coming winter will bring more than just cold to Fargus. The ravages of war approach on the same wind.
I think it's already here.
Training in such conditions will be a struggle indeed, but we cannot afford to ignore the looming Srang threat either. Managing our territories through it all will not be an easy task. But I have faith we will adapt, persevere, and overcome. Just as we always have.
Next winter, huh? We'll just have to do whatever it takes to make sure the war's over by then.
A little bit of wishful thinking. And no, not my age. Stop it. You know, you can be achy and stuff when you're... You know what? Is when you... Once you hit 30, the aches start. It only gets worse when you hit 40. I'm just saying. It happens. Who do we got? Petra. Not really. I don't know that one. That's... God, all this stuff with... I will do.
Hey, Dudu. It looked like you were having some trouble out there during training today. All good?
It is not uncommon. Many soldiers do not think highly of me.
Why's that?
As you know, I am from Duskur. Relations with my home have improved now that His Majesty has taken the throne, but many still hold misgivings about fighting beside someone like me.
What to do?
Really? I don't see why.
The tragedy of Duskur shook the entire kingdom to its core. And now I am among the Royal Guard, an honor often reserved for the children of nobles. As I am neither noble nor knight, many are displeased at my position.
They're jealous, more or less.
Yeah, that kind of stuff always makes people jealous. I've got tons of rumors flying around about me, too. Not that I blame them. I was just a regular merc, plucked off the street and into the officers' academy just because I happened to bump into Dimitri. All of it was a lucky break, if you ask me. Kinda natural it would get under people's skin.
True. We are both here due to happenstance involving His Majesty. It is in the nobility's instinct to resent us for claiming their rightful roles. Missing out due to sheer luck is cruel indeed.
I'm sure Dimitri's got his hands full balancing it all, too. One wrong move, and we could be faced with a full-on rebellion. But you know, I think there's an easy way to solve this. We just have to prove we're both capable leaders, that we deserve people's support. It's like I said before, as long as we get results, trust and respect will follow. Even the biggest skeptics will have to throw their weight behind us if we can show we have what it takes.
Something you learned as a mercenary.
Yep. There was this thief we had in our company, real shady guy. Nobody trusted him. but he did his work just as well as anyone else. And before long, everyone had pretty much warmed up to him. After a year or so, even I was joking around with him like he was an old friend.
He won your trust.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we didn't know for sure he wouldn't just run off with all our stuff one night. But that's why people like you are so valuable. You know, people who keep an eye out for anything suspicious.
I see.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk your ear off.
No, I appreciate it. I will try to follow your advice.
I love to do. Like, seriously, he is just... Oh, he doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve it. Okay, I better get this Felix one, and then we're gonna go... We're gonna go and do that paralog.
Mercedes. Good. I need your help.
Felix? Why do you have a cat?
Oh, this is funny.
Picked it up?
Yes, I can see that, but... Oh no! Its little leg is hurt! Here, let me have it. I may be able to heal it with magic. There. It should be fine now.
Thanks. Sorry for the trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. Though I must admit, you're the last person I expected to bring me an injured kitten. It reminds me of how my little brother once took in a cat when we were young.
Hey, that's right. You have a brother from a different father, right?
Yes. This was a long time ago, when we both still lived with House Bartels. My brother took in an injured cat, and after it healed, it began living in the mansion. We did our best to feed it secretly so it wouldn't be discovered.
Secretly? What's the big deal with one little furball?
We couldn't let anyone find out no matter what. The people in that house were horrid. Had they learned of the cat, they would have put it in a sack and tossed it in the river.
No!
Eventually, my mother and I left House Bartels and never looked back, though we left my brother behind. Still, I've always wondered what happened to that poor little cat.
Animals are smart enough. If the thing felt threatened, it would have taken off.
I suppose you're right.
Anyway, now that you've fixed the cat, I should bring it back to where I found it.
Are you sure? It's clearly taken a shine to you.
Yeah, but I can't keep it. The thing's practically a kitten. What if it has parents that, I don't know, miss it?
Yes.
Yes, I suppose returning it would be best.
All right, go. Shoo! Come on, get out of here already. Stop rubbing my legs. What is it? You want food? Well, I don't have any.
Ah, that cat really likes him.
You know, deep down.
Animals clearly understand when a kind soul comes to their aid.
Deep down, Felix does like
Mercedes, do something. This cat won't stop following me.
I'm sorry, but there isn't anything I can do. You'll have to wait until it feels like going home. Goodness, really? Having a cat like you is a good thing.
I'm not sure it is.
Well, so long as you're stuck waiting, we may as well get comfortable and have a nice chat.
Alright, let's... I just want to see who we have left. We have Annette. Alright, and Petra. Okay, we'll get those in later. Alright. Let us get... Oh, actually, we gotta go around town and talk to everybody. Alright.
Come this way. You have my gratitude.
I believe thanks are in order. Your aid in Verdiad was invaluable. We could not have rescued His Majesty alone, not even if we staked our lives on the fight.
Nuh-uh.
Nah, I didn't do much. Felix was the one who made the decision to go to the capital. Yes, I thanked him as well, though he rewarded my efforts with no small amount of curtness. He muttered something about it being preferable to having nightmares about abandoning us. I do wonder where he got that sharp tongue of his. Now, let us all work together from here on out and move quickly to subdue the West. After all, this is not a luxury we appear to have. Alright. Talk to everybody. This is all new for me because I didn't talk to barely anybody when I did my first playthrough. How am I quiet? Hold on. Maybe it's just because I was talking low. I know that my speakers are right. My speakers are right because Oh, it's a bit loud. Alright. Let me turn that down a little bit. There. I don't know. I turned my... Okay, let's turn this down a little bit. There. There we go. Oh, come on. Dude. I'm trying to get it to 3, and it never goes right to 3. Alright. Is that any better? This is a kind of a loud song. Let me get it to 3. There. Alright. Alright.
Ah, it's you.
What is it, Dimitri?
No.
Ah, well, in truth, I spent much of last night getting firmly scolded by Felix. Once he got started, he would not stop. I ended up talking him through the night, much like the old days. Oh my god, hold on. In the end, the dude came into the tent and began arguing with Felix. I know things have been awkward between you two for a while. I'm glad you were able to reconcile. Thank you. I am as well. In any case, I am truly sorry to have worried you. What a feckless man I am, never toiling to no avail.
I wonder.
I promise I will walk alongside everyone else moving forward. Okay, hold on. I gotta... Come on. I've gotta... black out the display capture because it does put my email address in there and I don't like that out there, so... Sound settings. Nope, it's at 90. It's at 90. Alright. So that's not it. I think it's just... It must... Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want the world to see my email. So, I think it's just really loud. The music, for some reason. Okay. Oh, no. Not so much the spam. Well, nobody can really get into my email account because I have, two-factor authentication. But I just really don't want that out there.
What do you think? Hello there.
Felix, I wish to speak with you about the part of the Dusker Vanguard that's been sent to House Darius. Do your soldiers have any complaints? I imagine you have thoughts as well. Some might be dissatisfied, but I don't care if they are. I value a warrior's ability to fight. Things like where they're from don't matter to me. And to that end, there are many competent fighters among the Dusker soldiers. They all have high morale. They make for good training partners. We can learn a great deal from their techniques and...
Hey there.
What? You got a problem? Speak up. Not at all. I was just thinking that His Majesty must find it reassuring to have a confidant like you. Well, I didn't expect to hear that. Whatever. You're free to say what you want. Ask for the code. Alright, Ash. Where is Ash? Oh, right here.
Hey there.
I was worried for a while there, but I'm relieved there wasn't much damage to the city. And we were able to rescue Duke Ivan as well. Load off our shoulders.
Right on.
Totally. Now if we can just do something about the West, all these problems within the kingdom should settle down. Yeah, I have to wonder, what in the world is Cornelia playing at? I can think of a lot of reasons why the Western nobles would oppose His Majesty. But her? Nothing comes to mind. There's something unsettling about all this.
Let's see.
There won't be much chance of victory against the Emperor's personal guard. They'll probably take Arundel territory before long. The Knights of Saros and my brother's forces are preparing to try and hold the fort during the siege. And if they're to have any chance of succeeding, they'll need a supporting army. Maybe
Not
outside... Damn it. Okay, I gotta stop there. I'm still feeling uneasy, even though we're the ones going to help. The Empire has way more soldiers.
You sure?
Well, we do have a smaller number of troops, but I don't think the difference is insurmountable. The folks we've got covering the siege are the cream of the crop. Plus, the kingdom's got access to the hero's relics.
Nuh-uh.
I suppose you're right about all that. We'll be prepping to fight the Western nobles after this. That battle will inevitably cost us, and after it's over, we'll need to keep some troops in the West. I'll try to speak to my father again. Can't hurt to ask.
Let's do this
Looks
thing.
like the Shrine forces have backed off for now, so I imagine my father will consider sending reinforcements. Problem. God, it's like, you know, he has like this bad relationship with his dad, and it just feels. But he has to like, but in a way, and I know he admires like his dad's military might and all that stuff, but it's like. Does not. I don't know. It's. I could spend hours talking about Sylvain. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Hello there. Oh, that's right.
Now that I think about it, I haven't been to Western Fargus all that much. I'm originally from the Empire, and I rarely had the opportunity to travel when I was with the church. I always thought I'd like to go there someday. But I confess this is not quite what I had in mind. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Baron Dominic is in a precarious position. Speaking with my brother will be no simple matter. That's true, even if he wanted to help us. He can't risk doing anything reckless so long as the other Western nobles have power. Our only option is to steadily gain control, cut down the West's military forces.
Let's give it our all.
I believe in you, Father. I'm certain Uncle Dominic will listen to you if you can make your way to him. Yes, and extremely hated characters. I agree. Alright, talk to Ingrid.
Well,
Right?
Your deftness with a spear is truly a sight to behold. I imagine your teacher must have had considerable skill. Yes, I actually learned from my family, those in the castle, and a friend who passed away. Oh, is that so? How impressive. I would certainly like to be as adept with the spear as you.
What say you?
I could teach you if you like. I'm sure you could master it quickly. I wouldn't go so far as to say it would make Glenn happy, but... at the very least, I would be glad if my skills could be of use to someone else. Oh, I could talk about Lorenz. I could talk about a Lorenz. Honestly, because I'm playing the Golden Wildfire. I think, well, I don't know. I'm not really on board with that story, but Lorenz is not the problems I have with him.
A moment.
I have already dispatched Catherine and our finest knights to Aryan Road. The one leading the kingdom's forces, Miklon, seems a talented man. I'm sure he can weather the Empire's assault for the time being. That said, we can ill afford excessive deliberation. We must do something about this internal conflict with all possible haste. Whatever. He's not my husbando. You know who my husbando is. You know. No, he's Constance's husbando. Alright, we're gonna get to this first battle. We're gonna do the paralogue. Exactly, he's not even in running. No. See, I have 3 main husbandos in this game. And then several, like, second tier that aren't really on the list, but they could be. And then Lorenz is, like, really on the bottom. He's on the bottom right next to Hubert. Even though I think Hubert would probably be potential husbando material. But whatever. Alright, we're gonna do this paralogue.
Well, you 3 are a merry bunch. If this is how you're gonna approach the next battle, I better go buy some white cloth so we can start sewing our surrender flags.
Sorry. I was lost in thought for a second there.
You don't say. What's got you down?
I just never imagined we'd all be fighting together here in Dusker. You come back here often, right, Dedu? I have heard His Majesty say as much on multiple occasions.
Yes.
Well, Dusker is still quite new to most of us, so we will definitely be depending on you.
A word, Ingrid. It's true we shouldn't wallow in the past, but there is also no need for false cheer.
Sure, but considering who we're going up against, it's not like we've got happy days ahead.
We'll be fighting a Dusker militia, right?
Yeah, we've been asked to put down an insurrection. Some sort of internal disagreement.
Dusker is divided. Some seek peace with Fargus. Others reject it.
Things have been getting better between our 2 lands of late, but there are still plenty of folks who can't let the old grudges go.
Hey, I get it. A lot of these people lost everything.
His Majesty still seeks to make amends. He's come here for speeches countless times. Our activities today are part of that effort.
Well, you still seem awfully gloomy if that's all this is. I mean, I get that this is a place where important folks died, but that's not exactly unusual, you know?
There's more. The leader of this insurrection aided the people who killed the late king all those years ago. So, we're not just here to put down some random rioters. Our real task is to arrest the leader and bring him back to Ferdiad.
That man played a key role in the tragedy of Dusker. And he's responsible for Glenn's death.
Pretty much.
Wait, hold on. This guy's from Dusker, right? I thought they had nothing to do with all that.
The vast majority did not.
Oh, there were some who did, though.
But a few did, even if they weren't the brains behind the whole thing. We always knew some from Dusker were involved, as guides, if nothing else. And the Boar has been working with Dusker's leadership to find out who they were.
Sounds like the word got out. But still, inciting a rebellion seems like a pretty last-ditch effort to avoid justice.
Oh, this sounds familiar.
Will you be able to stay your hand, Ingrid?
I will honor His Majesty's wishes. This leader has information we need, so we have to take him alive. No matter how much I may want to do otherwise. We'll uncover the truth and punish whoever is guilty. That will have to suffice as my revenge.
I think there are a lot of people who'd like a crack at this guy. Which is why we're here and a certain someone isn't.
His Majesty placed faith in us. We can't let him down.
Right.
Oof, I don't think there's any lifting spirits right now.
Don't worry. Once the battle starts, we won't have time to feel sorry for ourselves.
Come on, let's get this show on the road already.
She did. It's she was so in love with Glenn, and I feel so bad for her because, and I think it really even shows more in this game because she's just like, it's been what, 6 years or something like that, and she's still like in love with this guy. Alright, so there's really no getting other characters. You have to use the characters they give you in the paralogue, so
we must help our allies.
Alright.
Permit no casualties.
I'm glad to go.
Or we'll try we'll do Ingrid.
So they want to keep us out? Fine. We'll just cut our way through.
Not a problem.
Mike? Oh, I can't. Shit. Alright, so I gotta go around. What? Alright, this is not great.
I've got this.
We're all black.
I'll do what I can. It's worth a shot.
Alright, well. Oh, they're insurgents now. Crap. Alright, well.
Let's come with me.
Damn it. You're right there, Dudu. If I don't tell you, you're just gonna stand there staring at each other.
Only complicate things.
You think I don't know that?
Yeah, he was pretty young. So this is 2 years after Three Houses. This is like mid time skip. So probably about 7 years after.
Now die! Get out of my way!
I cannot grow complacent.
It's not over.
Alright, I can actually make it over, so I'm gonna fly out.
I'm going.
Alright, come on, Dudu. Come on.
It's not over.
I love Smash. He just slammed and pounded the ground like crazy. It's great. Alright, alright.
Take a
Felix.
Stand down. Enough of this.
Too easy.
Alright. Alright, now what do you guys... Okay, so we open that up.
Let's begin. It's time to move.
Not a problem.
Over there.
I've got this.
I'll do what I can. It's worth it.
Our allies are under attack just through here. We have to hurry.
Grant them no mercy.
Actually, I don't think I really mind the Pegasus Knight. Problem is, when I was playing split screen with the husband, the husband. It's just hard to see when it's split screen when you're on a flying mount.
Now's our chance. Attack!
Yes, Felix is much more bearable, much less of an ass.
You're mine!
But he kind of has to be because he's a duke now.
My friend.
He can't just be like pissy all the time.
These woods are dense.
You certainly know the terrain. Did you live around here?
My hometown is near these woods. The same woods where the late king met his end.
Oh, I didn't know.
Targets, rats, always sticking their noses where they don't belong.
They're going to be trouble, and we still have allies under attack.
Okay.
Just take a breath.
Alright. You want to play this?
Prepare! You'll never win! Thank you, my friend.
No, not yet.
Alright. Alright, what do I gotta do now? You're still fighting this guy?
Let's begin. It's time to move.
I guess I got some more to do. Okay, actually.
Not a problem.
Why can't you seize that? I don't know why I can't do that. Alright, well.
I've got it.
Oh, because the door is shut. Oh, great. Fighting at a disadvantage.
Grant them no mercy.
You're mine! You'll never win! Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, right.
Just one foot in front of the other.
Fine work.
So this is where Lambert died. And my brother as well.
Do not dwell on old wounds. Come.
Alright, I gotta get out of here.
It must be hard for you to be fighting in your old home, Dedu.
Your concern is unnecessary. But thank you.
I like a touching moment as much as the next guy, but we're in the middle of a battle here. Stay focused.
Alright, I'm gonna have this to do. I need casters, but I don't have any.
There is little time for idling.
Is Felix? No, Felix is fine. Alright, where is Felix though?
I'll do it. It's worth a shot.
Ingrid.
Begin the operation. Our order.
It's not over. It's not over.
Uh-oh. Somebody's in trouble. Oh my god. Can't get in there! I think I gotta... Shit! Can't get in this... Alright, I think I just gotta get these guys down here. Can't get over. Damn it. The paralogs are not easy. Like, they're harder than the regular fights.
It's not over.
Oh no. Ingrid is nearly routed. Where is she? No, she's not. She's got health. What are they talking about? I think you need to do, like...
This ends now!
How do we get up here? Let me see. Yeah, we gotta, I think, open up here and come up this way, I think? I think if you get certain bases, you open up the doors.
It's not over.
Okay, good. So that they don't always use their elixirs. Alright, so now we open that up.
I get why they hate us, but what sense is there in fighting their own people?
It seems that wasn't the general we were after. Come, let us go. There's still others who need our help.
Alright, so those doors opened up. So I had to, you have to progress the main mission to get
Begin the operation.
Certain things open.
Our orders are clear.
I'll do what I can.
Let's see. I don't know.
It's worth a shot.
Whatever. Over there.
Not a problem.
Both of you
I've
can
got
handle
this.
it. I'll head up all the way to top.
Let us take this stronghold. This stronghold will fall.
No, not yet.
Now's our chance. Attack!
For His Majesty.
Give it up!
Dusker has all sorts of people, good and bad.
That's pretty much the way of the world.
For the love of
Okay.
A large step forward.
I owe you for that. Thank you, my friend from Fargus.
Don't mention it. Now get out of here and find somewhere safe to hide.
Unlucky for you. It's not over. I defy you! Give in!
You come for me, huh? Well, bring it on. I'll kill the lot of you.
I'll back up here.
This is the one we're after. Remember, we need him alive. Surprised the boar sent you with us, Ingrid. I'd have thought he'd keep you as far away from this as possible.
This assignment was my request. I seek to put the past behind me once and for all.
I've got you! Unlucky for you. I defy you! Give in!
Come here to crush Dusker under your boots once more, have you?
You have no right to say that. This is the road I chose.
I always feel safe with you here.
This ends now!
Alright.
No! What are you gonna do to me?
You will come to Ferdiad and answer some questions. Take him away.
The real question is, what is Dimitri going to do to you? Because, yeah. I'd be more afraid of... What? How did I not get an S rank? I killed a lot of... I must have been just a few away.
I hope I can be more useful now.
I need to be stronger, faster.
A decent effort. A large step forward.
Stop it, it's not cheating.
This was a long time coming, and a fine result, seeing as we suffered no needless casualties.
I guess so. Still, I wonder why our target chose to take part in the tragedy of Dusker in the first place.
Look deeper?
That kind of decision's not arrived at lightly. There must be some reason we haven't considered yet. I mean, maybe he honestly thought he was fighting for Dusker's future.
Then he went about it the wrong way.
Whatever the reason, there's no need to speculate.
Agreed. His Majesty will suss it out.
Yes, let's put our faith in him. But for now, we should tell the citizens of Dusker about what transpired today.
Wait. I must make a brief stop.
Oh? Where?
A lake deep in the forest, where a field of flowers once grew.
To do, you're gonna make me
The area
cry.
was trampled by the kingdom's army some time back. I want to see if it is recovered.
I could use some flowers in my life right about now. And who knows the next time we'll be coming this way again. Mind if I join you?
Please do.
Count me in too. Felix?
I don't really care about that stuff, but sure. Still, we've got a lot to do, so let's make it quick.
Fucking Felix.
Oh, how lovely.
Aww.
I can't believe a place like this is hidden away in the forest.
I often came here with my sister. I am glad to see it somewhat recovered.
Somewhat? You mean it used to be even more beautiful than this?
Indeed.
Wow. I'd love to see it in all its glory someday. King Lambert died near this spot, right? I wonder if Glenn ever saw this place.
I think it likely. When things settle in Dusker, this field should also return to form. We should come back then, to see the field as he did.
Yes, we should.
Come on, Felix, you know you have feelings.
You sure you just want to hang back, Felix? This is really something. It might be good to, you know, take in the scenery. Maybe think about your brother.
No thanks. Remembering the past is important, but the present gives me all the direction I need. Namely, the duty to protect the same things Glenn did before me.
You mean Dimitri?
More or less. My brother gave everything to protect him, but only because he was protecting the future of Fargus itself. Which that fool will probably try to shoulder all on his own. So I guess they're pretty much the same thing at this point. Anyway, keep that to yourself. And don't you dare tell the boar.
Don't say it. Well, I'll hold a secret.
Sure thing.
Good. You know, I don't really care much for flowers, but this isn't so bad.
Cry. Okay, but yeah, so seriously, yeah, but he's not really the sharing feelings type, but I feel like you see his real feelings, thoughts slip through a little bit more in this game. Okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. Actually, let me start I'll start a support for you guys. I gotta go to the bathroom. Shit. Oh my god, okay, well, usually, hopefully I'll be back in time by the time, that I have to answer whatever question.
Hey, Ingrid. Glad I tracked you down. Have you ever heard of Tobias's mercenaries?
What an odd question. Tobias, The name does sound familiar somehow.
Huh. I thought everybody knew about them. Captain Burling must have exaggerated that part. Anyway, they were a big mercenary group my old captain used to be in when she was a kid. Apparently their leader, Tobias, was so loyal to one of the local lords that he was practically an honorary advisor.
Strange. I thought mercenaries kept interactions with their employers strictly business.
Most do. But not only did these mercs fight for this lord, they pitched in building the castle town, too. They even went so far as to trade their swords and bows for hoes and pitchforks, and tilled the barren land for the farmers of the region. And they opened up shops in town when the lord was going through some financial troubles.
It sounds like they went far beyond what is expected of most mercenaries. Unless... is that something you all do?
Oh, not at all. We're fighters through and through. Nobody in their right mind would ask us to drop everything to become farmers or merchants. Basically, both the mercenaries and the lord were doing stuff way different from how they normally do.
Yes, of course. A bunch of sellswords planting seeds and tending a shop is certainly unheard of.
In the end, this captain grew
take this
so
call.
close to the noble of the region that people started calling him the Lord's right-hand man. I guess my point is, it doesn't matter what you are. Mercenary, knight, noble, you aren't tied to any one role just because of the title you hold. Even battle-hardened mercs can end up as farmhands if that's what the client calls for. And if that's possible, surely a noble can do anything they want, too.
True enough. That ties into our conversation from before as well. Thank you. I will give the matter some thought.
Good. I know it won't be easy to find the answer, but I'm here to bounce ideas off if you ever need it. And no matter what, I'm just glad my old captain's story actually helped you. All this stuff about Tobias and his mercenaries really caught me off guard the first time I heard it.
You were right about that. But, I cannot shake the feeling that this Tobias person is familiar somehow. Wait! I remember now. I believe the noble in your story may have actually been my grandmother.
Really? The last head of House Galatea?
Yes. I don't remember very well since I was still so young, but I recall she had a friend by the name Tobias. Though I find it difficult to believe the old man I knew was once a strapping mercenary captain.
If it really was him, he must have climbed the ranks even further than I realized. I mean, not just anyone can meet a noble's family like that. Who would have thought this old story would hit so close to home?
Certainly not me.
Hey, what are the words to that song again? Something about an eagle and a lion flying through the sky?
A flying lion? Pretty sure I know the song you're talking about, but those definitely ain't the lyrics I've heard. The one I know is about some horse with a human face running through the greenest grass you ever did see.
Now that you mention it, that does sound familiar. What a weird thing to sing about. I wonder who wrote it.
Yeah, this isn't working.
You can say that again. I finally finished rewriting the lyrics and everything, but they aren't catching on. Not at all.
I've even heard people theorizing that the horse with a human face is some kind of grand metaphor. You know, since he's a mix of human wisdom and a horse's pure strength, the song is saying that the brave warrior who possesses both will win in the end. Or that the horse is some kind of messenger sent by the goddess to punish sinners.
Why did it come to this? I didn't have any of that stuff in mind when I was writing it. I just wanted to sing about a knight rushing through an open field. And then I snuck in a tiny bit of Dusker mythology that Dedu told me about.
Not sure how you got from that to a song about a horse with a human face.
I already told you that's not what it is! It's a mythological warrior being from Dusker legend.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
All right, all right. Either way, everyone obviously prefers the original version. So, all's well that ends well, right? They say once people hear a song, it's out of the composer's hands forever. The author is dead, all that stuff.
I know you're just saying all this to make me feel better.
Well, yeah, I can't deny that.
No, it was not
Sorry,
Chewie.
Annette. But it's true that there's nothing you can really do now.
It was me.
Even if you write totally new lyrics and sing them for the whole army, there's no guarantee they'll get as big as the ones that are already out there.
You have a point, but still.
Listen, Annette. Songs have a lot of power. They help people in need, give them courage when they're down on their luck. And if you ask me, I think yours could inspire our troops out on the battlefield too.
I don't know.
Hey, what even is a human-faced horse anyway? Is it some kind of monster?
Ain't no monster I've ever heard of. Maybe it's a horrible beast that comes crawling up out of the bowels of the earth.
Don't say stuff like that. You're gonna ruin a perfectly happy song.
Aww.
No, it was not Chewie who started the support. I was still on the phone, and I figured, well, instead of you guys sitting there watching a screen that's not doing anything, I'd start the next support for you, so you had something to watch. All right, so we gotta get all the way over here. I actually want to look at my supports. I'm not gonna play another one. I just want to see how far off I am because, yeah, I need to work on some of these. Alright, so we're gonna do, Dimitri, Dedu, Felix. I guess Dimitri, Dedu, Felix, and Ash. Because I gotta work those supports up. So they're gonna go with me to this next battle. It is funny. Not Cassie, don't say that! It's not... Cassie doesn't have a horse with a human face. But Annette's story is funny. Her support. Alright, change this to Ash.
Have to do my best.
Change this to Dedue.
Understood.
There you go. Right? What is wrong with you today, Dee said.
They're not taking this
All
from
right.
us.
We can still fight our way out of this.
Not a problem.
If you don't actually send them, they don't do shit. It's like they just
I'll
sit
do what
there.
I can. I'm here
That
to help.
guy. Alright. Wait, Ash ain't doing anything.
I'll do my best.
Ash, get over here. I guess you're just gonna... Alright.
Onward!
Man! Ash, you get over
I'll
here
do
and
my
defeat
best.
this summoner. Oh man, I don't think I'll be able to.
I'll do my best. I'll back them up.
I'll do what I can. It's worth.
Unlucky for you. Give in!
I do have to say, this game
is ours.
is so much easier when you have a second player to help you, though. Because I don't have to send people. It's like, okay, we'll be talking to each other, be like, okay, I'm gonna go up here, you go there, and it's not even... You just get it done. Just get it done.
I defy you!
Don't hold this against me.
Nice one. You make a good vassal.
How can I face my comrades after this?
We did it!
Unlucky for you. This ends now! Give in!
How can I face my comrades after this?
A large step forward.
By my command, march! I could do with some reinforcements.
Attack the Pegasus Knight. Alright. Trying to kill these guys.
We've taken control.
Alright,
We
time to
can
get
ill
up here.
afford defeat here. We cannot allow the battle to continue trending this way.
Imbeciles!
Shit.
So this is defeat. I'm sorry.
Right on.
I shall grant you the privilege of my aid.
Oh, he joined us. Alright then.
None will stand before me.
Victory feels like a foregone conclusion with you on our side.
You know what, Ash? Don't jinx it. Do not jinx it.
I think I'm in trouble here.
What are you doing up there? Alright, fine.
Here I go!
Take a breather.
How are you in trouble?
Our time has finally come.
It's not over.
Here it comes. You're done. Oh, couldn't hurt.
Alright, so who
I'm going.
we meet up here? Hey, Matt Newey. There we go.
Stand down.
Unlucky for you. This ends now. Give in. It's not over.
Let's
Wait,
put
she's
this
not
to
dead
good
yet?
use.
Position secured.
I gotta get these guys
large
coupled
step
up a little
forward.
more.
Yeah, not bad.
Hey.
A decent effort.
Pretty good there. Oh, why did I have Rizlin out there? I should have had Dimitri. Ugh. Alright, next one. We got some training points. Ooh, Dimitri wants to go on an expedition. We gotta do it. The fleeing refugee gave you their surplus goods. Alright. Townspeople are gossiping. You decide to listen in.
Come to think of it,
I heard from someone who came from Elidor territory that magic exploded from a weird pillar and oh great. Sounds like the enemy possess a powerful magical weapon. Oh my god, stop going too fast! You met up with an allied army and refilled
I see.
supplies. Things are going well right now and we have extra supplies. Take whatever you want. Ooh, Umbral Steel. Craftspeople are talking excitedly. Business seems to be going well. I've tapped into a nice vein of oil. I'll give you a discount if you want to buy it. Yeah, whatever. Enemy has already retreated from here. Some useful items have been left behind. Ooh, Woot Steel. It's my favorite steels. Alright, so yeah, go talk to Dimitri.
Ah, it's you. I wonder.
Let's see. Invite on expedition.
I'm sure Dedu wouldn't mind. As long as you are the one accompanying me.
No, Dedu's gonna mind. He doesn't want Dimitri going anywhere without him. Let's go to the forest.
Where are we heading today?
You dismount your horses at the mouth of an expansive forest. The natural scene plays across your senses and you feel at true peace.
The visibility here is quite low. I can't help but peer over my shoulder, lest an assassin lodge his blade in my back.
Oof. Maybe this was the wrong place to go. After enjoying a pleasant stroll, Rizlin and Dimitri decided to take a break. Alright, let's ask a question. Uh-oh. Memories of the past.
Had I not met Dedu on that fateful day, I dare say I would be a very different person than I am now.
Agree. I have to agree.
Correct.
Yes.
At times, I feel there must be some purpose to the strength I was born bearing.
Do I sympathize or express my thoughts on the matter? I say saying it's pointless to think about is the worst. No, it wasn't to do. It was Dimitri wanted to go on a thing. Sympathize? I'm gonna sympathize. Damn it! I wanted to ogle Dimitri! I'm never gonna get to ogle him. No, it wasn't. It was Dimitri.
Do be kind to Felix. His new duties seem to be taking more out of him than I think he realizes.
Agree to that.
I implore you.
How is this?
Thank you. I had a good time today.
You did not. You're just being polite. Rizla and Dimitri headed back to camp. Damn it all. We gotta go training.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
Hey, I'm getting better.
I'm getting better.
I'm a better man now than I was 5 minutes ago.
I still have talent, I see.
Time to work you with proper training.
Just
You'll be
furious.
unstoppable.
Oh yes, we opened even more supports. Alright, we're gonna have to wait. These are gonna have to wait until next week. We gotta get back to the battles. Alright, so really we're gonna have to do 2 more before we get to this. What's this one? You cannot dodge during this battle. Training points. Spare. Let's get those training points. Okay. I'm gonna put Dimitri out here.
You can leave this to me.
Alright.
Let us cut through our foes.
Prepare to crash against the shield of Fargus.
Onward to victory.
We gotta... Alright, so we're gonna have to send some people out, so let's see.
I'll do what I can. It's worth a shot.
Let's begin. It's time to move.
There's Ash.
I'll do my best.
Uh-oh.
I'm a little...
I'll probably have to go and help him.
Now's our chance. Attack!
You're through! Grant them no mercy. You're mine!
Let's take it for ourselves.
Attack!
You're through! This will make a fine foothold.
Alright. Oh no.
Move out!
Alright, I get back over
Resistance
here.
is futile.
We've taken control.
Refuse to hold back. You won't stop me!
You're through! You're mine! Looks like you got one tough fight on your hands.
Oh, man, come on. Alright, so now I gotta get up there. Oh, Felix, what are you doing? Alright, no. The duties.
Let's begin. It's time to move.
Alright, I gotta get up here, because clearly everybody wants this stronghold. How is... Oh, he's not even... Oh, he's almost got it. Alright, this way.
Charge!
This capture's a big win for our side.
You won't stop me!
Okay, let's just get down to that guy.
I almost feel sorry for them.
Stand down.
Here I go! Move out!
I'm going.
Oh shit, I gotta get over here and kill this guy before.
Hard and fast.
I don't know. Gotta get over this guy before he takes one of my strongholds.
This is little more than a scratch.
Unlucky for you. Give in!
Alright, we did it. Yeah.
We won. I'm still not quite used to saying that yet.
Dedu's the man. Yes, they are. They are. Aw, man.
This strength will ensure nobody dies a needless death.
A large step forward.
I'm glad to be of use.
Okay, so... Yeah. The house belongs to civilians who are trying to evacuate. They've agreed to a deal.
What you think?
If you have one more of this, I'll trade you for something good. Fine, whatever. Mysterious monks seen loitering around approaches you for a conversation. May the blessings of the goddess be upon you. Please take one of these. Whatever. There is a nun who was once very famous. You asked her to join your army, but she refused. No thank you. I find myself more suited to this lifestyle. Simply allow me to pray for your safety. Oh. Resilience. Who needs more resilience? Oh, definitely Dimitri. You arrived at the designated rendezvous point, and your army support unit joined the troops. 1,000 apologies for being late. When we get up to on the battlefield, we promise.
Indeed.
It should be much easier with them on our side. I'll think of the best way to make use of them. Okay, so we're getting some of those out. Okay, let's I don't even care how this was. Alright. Pound through this one. And we'll go grab my supplies and then get this last battle in before... Because I can't stream super late today because I've got an appointment. Well, not an appointment. I've got to be at my in-laws' house. Like by 4 o'clock, so... Alright, so we'll just keep this group. We'll just keep this group. It's fine.
Let us cut through our foes. This battle is one we cannot afford to lose. I'm counting on every one of you to help me see it through to the end.
Stay strong. We can win this.
Damn.
Let us claim victory and finish this once and for all.
Oh, defeat the sniper. I gotta send these guys out.
I'll do my best.
What am I even doing here?
I'm a little nervous about this.
Let's begin. It's time to move.
I'll do what I can.
It's not over.
Grant them no mercy.
Now's our chance. Attack!
I refuse to hold back. You won't stop me!
Here goes!
Damn, you're kicking my ass! Shit!
We must leave the front lines for a short while.
Of course, always
Alright, let's do this!
Alright.
Let's begin.
I'll do what I can. It's worth a shot.
Let's begin.
Who else do I have to kill? Alright, I'll send you up there.
It's
not over. It's not over.
Let's get started.
Oh, defeat the brawler.
We're done for.
I'm not getting that support on this one.
Let's make the most of this.
Don't push yourself too hard, Your Majesty.
I know, I know.
I face my comrades after this.
You won't stop me! I'll hesitate no longer.
Brawler retreated.
You can't let it end like this.
We can't afford to stop now.
There won't be anything for the rest of us to do if you keep that up, Your Majesty.
You're through!
You still working on that one guy? Alright, hold on.
Here I go!
No.
I'm going.
Here we go.
Unlucky for you.
This ends now! Give in!
Alright, there we go. Oh.
Our time has finally come!
I'm gonna have to look at their abilities and stuff and get things situated. I feel like I'm taking a lot more damage than I used to.
I won't lose! Unlucky for you. Give in!
Oh, there we go.
All right, we're finally finished. No, it's too early to breathe easy just yet.
Yeah, I knew damage taken was gonna be high.
I see. Then the regicide of our late King Lambert was orchestrated by none other than you and your accomplices here, Viscount Mateus. What's more, you had the audacity to pin the blame for your crime onto the innocent people of Duscar.
We did what we believed to be right, and we still believe it so. I bear neither shame nor regret for our actions.
Well, he's gonna die.
Our hand was forced, Baron. We took no pleasure in the deed. But we could not lie down and allow Lambert to trample over us with his tyrannical policies.
His beloved Eastern lords may have submitted with naught but a whimper, knowing full well that they would always have the favor of the king. But we in the West refuse to play his game. It's as simple as that.
I understand the situation you found yourself in, but I fail to see the righteousness or necessity in the measures you chose. Of course, aspects of Lambert's reign troubled me as well. Yet one can never predict what may lie on the other side of a violent, radical revolution. With that understanding in mind, I decided to obey the late king's wishes. If you took issue with his policy, you should have made a formal protest. Surely a dialogue is a more preferable outcome to cold-blooded murder.
Any protest we made would never have drowned out the chorus of his blind devotees.
Wrong. His Majesty would have listened had you only explained your troubles. I'm sure of it. Instead, you cast aside your duties as his retainers, crawled into a fetid bed with the Empire, and ended his life like the base cowards you are. Well, the time has come to face judgment for your sins.
My. Do you really think yourself so different from them, dear Baron?
Cornelia, you scheming wretch.
Judgment for your sins? Do you think this is one of that decrepit church's tired old parables? Sorry, but you're part of this now, trapped here like the rest of us. So be a good little boy and do your part in sowing chaos in Vargas and the rest of Fodlan while you're at it.
I think they felt that he had some sway. I don't know. Let's grab all this stuff. You met a girl in the farming village who says her mother is ill and cannot get out of bed. Please save my mother. They say only healing magic can cure her. Alright. You decided to camp in the forest. You entrusted 2 of your allies with keeping watch during the night. Oh, support. Who do I want to increase supports? Dimitri and Felix. Yeah. Because his Dimitri and Felix's A support is actually pretty good. It's pretty good. Alright, so the enemy has already retreated from here. Some useful items have been left behind. Alright. Alright, we gotta go back and use up our points. Like, if you don't use your training, your like, activity and tactical points or whatever, you on the board, you lose them, so... No, I don't want to go to the war map! Damn it. Come on. Go back to camp. Alright, let's just train real quick.
Time to work you into shape.
Hope this is good for something.
Time to work with proper training. You'll be unstoppable.
So it stops yelling at me.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
I just want to see what... We don't end up any more supports. No, it's all the same. Sylvain and Cool. Ooh, to do. Okay. Alright, let's do it.
Gustav, Annette, the success of this plan lies on your shoulders.
We've got this, Your Majesty. I swear, we'll make my uncle see the light.
You sure about this, Dimitri? I probably shouldn't be saying this in front of the Baron's relatives, but... the Western Lords could end up convincing Baron Dominic to lead them once more. Killing him now could spare us a storm of grief later.
Oof.
It would be quicker, I'll admit that. But convincing him to join our cause will pay dividends later on. I'm sure of it.
Not to mention that the Baron's eldest son possesses a crest of his own. Even if the father falls, what's to stop the other lords from promoting his heir as their standard bearer?
That's exactly why I'd rather this end with Baron Dominic as an ally, not a corpse. But first, we'll need to whittle down the armies of the other Western lords. Only then can we seek an opportunity to reach him.
Dimitri, we should get moving.
Right you are. Our numbers in this battle will be few. Much of our army is off defending Aryan Road from the Empire. In other words, this fight shall not be an easy one. But we cannot afford to fail. And I will need all of your help to ensure we do not.
I wonder what the Dimitri of a few months ago would say if he could hear you now. For what it's worth, I like this version of you better. You seem more at ease.
At ease, hmm? Yes. Perhaps I am.
I wonder why
Look at you go, actually making friends.
Freaking Arvel.
I can tell this has been quite a fulfilling time for you. Not to say I'm not pleased myself. I only hope you haven't forgotten your true purpose among all this camaraderie.
The Ashen Demon.
If you ever hope to reach the highest of heights, you need a powerful aspiration driving you forward. You know, when we first met, I was struck by the undeniable might of your will. Such strength laid bare the tremendous potential you hold for growth. But if you lose sight of your driving purpose, the growth I hope so dearly for you may not, in fact, come to pass.
Hey, Arlo.
Yes?
Don't you think you're getting a bit too obsessed with this little grudge match?
Just a little bit. A teensy bit.
Maybe so. Though I don't believe that's all there is to it.
And my purpose? Why can't we just say it's fighting for Dimitri and call it a day? Right now, that's just as important to me as surpassing the Ashen Demon. Maybe even more so. Arvel, out with it.
I suppose it just feels like our destiny. Like it's something we're meant to do.
Gustav is routed. Okay. Oh, man. I feel like I'm missing some characters to recruit. I gotta look this up. What is this? Azure. There you go. Recruitable characters. Azure Gleam. So when do I get to recruit these characters? Let's see. Okay, so I thought you were able to recruit. Oh, okay. She actually comes on automatically. All right, so I'm not missing anyone. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody to recruit. But okay, so let's say we're gonna do here. Let's see, advanced. Yeah, I like that one. Strong priest. I like that one. Summon guards to defend an allied army. Endure a magic shield to reduce damage. I kind of like that one too. Okay. So, oh man, I have to start as her. Okay. I guess we'll do this.
Viscount Mateus, Viscount Elidor, they sure aren't holding anyone back. But where's my uncle in all of this?
Think you can help? As we discussed,
Here to help.
we will focus our efforts on persuading the Baron to join our cause, and chip away at the others en route.
We march together. I will make my brother see reason if it is the last thing I do.
With all the progress we've made, the Western Lords are probably feeling the heat pretty hard. I bet he'll be receptive.
Okay. Stuff.
Go and help them.
Yeah, go ahead.
We won't have much hope of persuading the Baron without you, Gustav. Stay vigilant.
Stay out of my way.
Oh no.
Nobody's stopping you from reaching
Hey.
my uncle.
You mean it's Chuda?
Stand down.
Such foolishness. Now, show them the price of their folly.
Oh, only Chuda.
I'm on it.
A little help?
Here, come with me.
I'll show them what I've got. Hey, you tried.
Ambush. There are likely more awaiting us elsewhere as well. Stay vigilant.
Do what I must.
My apologies for the trouble. Let us continue onward.
What do you mean, Venom? No, it's not canon, but some of the backstory is canon. Oh, we need to get these drawbridges down.
I got this.
Gotta go this way. Yeah, exactly. It's the same characters, it's just kind of a what if.
What savage beasts!
Like if events turned out differently, this is what
I'm on it.
would have happened.
Think you can help?
Here, come with me.
I'll show him what I've got. Hey, you tried. Wish this wasn't so much effort.
Same, same.
No matter what may come our way, we can fend them off so long as we stand together.
Stop! What if your file is called I honestly I think I play better as Sylvain. But I think I have his like ability set up really good.
Let's keep moving, Gustav.
It's not over.
Why are you crying? Because I play good as Sylvain.
I'll see you in hell, I guess.
I can always trust you to have my back.
Tough luck!
I'm on it!
I'm all right. The Baron lies dead ahead. Onward! Got you!
There! We did it! All that's left is to convince my uncle.
I must speak with you, my brother. Please.
Gustav, how did you break through?
So you mean to sway our precious Baron Dominic to your cause? Well, I won't allow it.
Shit.
There are so many of them. We can't let them reach my father. Here, come with me.
I'll show him what I've got. Hey, you tried.
No, that wasn't.
Sure, you see, the Western Lords have no hope of winning this fight, my brother. But together, we can put an end to that seductress.
Yet if I join you and we should fail, what becomes of us then? What becomes of the citizens of my barony?
Should House Dominic align itself with the royal family, this feeble rebellion will fall to its knees.
My name carries weight, yes, but I lack the might to back it up.
Here,
Do not expect such things from me, Gustav.
I'll show him what I've got. Hey, you
They're gonna convince him.
However, my heart lies not in this fight. If you can promise victory, then I will join you.
All right.
Thank you, my brother. You will not regret this decision.
With my uncle on our side, we've got nothing to be afraid of.
So this is the sting of betrayal, Allow me to put you in your place. Oh, my dear Titanus, hunt these beasts down.
Titanus? Western Coalition?
We cannot afford to lose the Baron after all we've done to secure his cooperation. We must defeat the Western Lords and see him safe.
Well, I'm on Viscount Mateus now.
Justice lies with us. I feel no shame for what we've done.
Oh.
Why must so many die for the sake of your so-called justice?
Count Elidor?
Wish this wasn't so much effort.
Cornelius said we would win this handily.
If they're working with Cornelia, then were the Western Lords involved in the tragedy?
This was our only option, Your Majesty. The Western Lords, we...
No words can spare you now. You may plead your case to my father, beyond the veil of death.
Oh shit! You know when he
one of Cornelius' weapons.
I'm not gonna lie.
Damage will be immeasurable if such a monstrosity is let loose. Got you.
I'm not gonna lie. When Dimitri
keeping Vargas safe.
gets really dark, it like gives me chills.
I'll show him what I've got. Hey, you tried.
There's a feat you don't see every day.
It's not over. Such powerful attacks. Conventional tactics will not serve us much good here.
Think you can help?
Here, come with me.
I'll show him what I've got. Hey, you tried.
Titanus, how? I had only reinforced its shell further.
Alright.
She had that in her back pocket this whole time.
Our knowledge runs far deeper than you barbarians could ever hope to understand.
And that's the last of the reinforcements. Things should be a little calmer now.
Let us march, my brother. We can reach Cornelia via the drawbridge to the east.
How dare you? Let's see how you like a taste of the Viscum's power.
Ugh, I hate the headphone. Okay, I need to.
What is this?
Alright, where is the Viscum? I gotta send somebody over. Alright, actually. We need.
Go and help them.
And then somebody's gotta take care of
do my
this
best.
Viscum. Where is it?
Let's move.
Yeah, I get zapped.
I'll do my best.
I think this is it here.
Let's move.
Those are the same weapons we fought
I had to
back
get
in
over there.
Ferdinand. There must be a way to shut them down somewhere nearby.
Oh, there it is. Never mind. Ash, you go down here. Oh, shit. Alright, who's gonna be good at this?
Not a problem. I've got this.
Shall we? Let's give it a
shot. I'm going back.
I don't know what's up with those soldiers, but they're going after the Baron. As if we'll let them.
We've already seen those weapons back in Ferdinand. We know what to do.
Form of battle.
I'll show him what I've got. Hey, you tried.
Well, I suspect the Western Lords
Controls. We should capture the stronghold first. though.
had their own issues, and she just capitalized on their unrest, more
This
or
may not halt
less.
the attacks, but it will at least lessen their impact.
No, not yet.
The stronghold will fall!
There we go.
Whew, that was close.
Hey,
Let's go,
Trevor.
Uncle.
Alright, finally, we're on our way back.
Why can't you just be good little rats and die like you're supposed to?
They just don't stop coming. Come on, let's take them out.
Tough luck.
Well, I'm sure a lot of it is they wanted more power.
I'm on it.
No, I didn't think you were attacking me. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great, Trevor. It's fine.
Think you can help?
Here, come with me.
I'll show them what I've got. Hey, you tried.
Alright. I catch up with them. Alright. Made it here.
Hear me well.
I gotta finish this fight.
Lower this drawbridge at once.
Is that Baron Dominic? Yes, my lord. Right away.
I'm not gonna murder you. No, I thought it was hilarious.
Just a little bit further now.
So, come. On my life, you shall not break through.
Yeah, it would take a lot more than that
Time for
to
this. What's your code for?
upset me. Don't worry about it.
Forgive the delay, Warrior King of Vargas. Allow us to join the fray.
Dusker generals are in.
You've come. I will not forget this kindness.
The game is hilarious.
Dusker. What do we do now?
Calm yourself, Rogue. We still have plenty of cards up our sleeve.
Oh crap!
More of
Warviscum!
those weapons. We'll never reach that witch now.
Alright, I gotta get this. I gotta get this taken care of.
I'll do what I can. It's worth a shot.
Please.
We will proceed as planned.
You protect.
Not a problem.
Shit, I can't get in there yet. Oh, we're just gonna have to go in there and seize it. I am gonna get
Let us
zapped.
help you. We'll shut those things down.
Calling for reinforcements, are you? How rude. I suppose it's time for the Western Knights to make their appearance.
Man.
The enemy will reclaim those weapons should the warriors from Dusker fall. We must bolster their defenses.
Alright. We can't get there yet.
These weapons continue to amaze me,
shit,
no
I didn't
matter
wanna
how
do
many
that.
times we fight them. They're like nothing I've ever seen before.
I'll show them what I've got. Hey, you tried.
They look suspiciously like those who slither in the darkness type weapons.
That's one down. Let's get a move on to the next one.
They knew what they were getting into.
I knew we could count on you, Sylvain.
Alright. Why is this flashing? Just here. Okay, I guess I took care of that. Okay. Yes, pretty much.
Wish this wasn't so much effort.
It's not over. Do I have to do something back down here? I feel like we're so close to being done with this.
Give it up!
This way? Oh my god, I don't know how to get in here. Maybe I have to go down this way. Oh, there'll be more. That was just the first still life. You'll get the rest soon. Don't worry. Yeah, get over here. Oh my god! Come on. Oh, I gotta get this one next. I guess you have to get them in order.
No regrets!
I will not let you lay a hand on them.
Alright, did I get that? Come on.
Where did Cornelia get these weapons anyway?
Alright, back around this way and then back. Hopefully to Cornelia. I gotta finish this up and go.
Think you can help?
No! Don't do that randomly! Not when I have to go!
I'll show them what I've got!
Oh.
Hey, you tried!
Alright, there we go. I can't get in there still. Wait, how the hell are they in there?
Take a breather.
We've fought off the enemy reinforcements, but we must stay vigilant. Those guarding the weapons cannot be defeated.
I guess I am in here. How do I get in here? Well, whatever. Alright, there it is. Last Viscum.
That's that then. On to Cornelia.
Clever little vermin, aren't they? I'll need some time to reactivate the Viscum. I trust you know what to do, Count.
Yes, of course. I suppose that means I'll be going out there.
I suppose that means I'm gonna die. Alright.
I'll make sure.
Gro himself is joining this battle, It matters not. Do what you must to protect those controls.
Worry not, King of Fargus. We will not let the controls fall into enemy hands.
We cannot let them reclaim those weapons. Do not allow the enemy near the strongholds.
By time, she says. But how does she expect me to do so? I'm no fighter. I don't understand.
Where did I go wrong?
Enough of this, Cornelia. None remain who can shield you from our vengeance.
I'd hoped to keep my hands clean, but it seems there's nothing for it. Entertain me, boy.
I'll show him what I've got! Hey, you tried!
Detected that. Oh, finally. Okay, let's just get in there and kill her.
So, finally shown yourself. There will be no escape for you this time, I assure you.
Okay.
You kingdom dogs are good at giving chase, I must admit.
It's only us and her now.
I'm going.
But keep your heads on straight. And watch out for those weapons.
I'll ask you again. Why did you slaughter them? If you don't want to bring death yourself, I suggest you speak true.
So it's a motive you seek, How about because I felt like it? Oh, good. Very good. Don't stop now. I'm actually enjoying this.
She's like kind of rude. She really is.
I refuse to hold back. You won't stop me!
Out of soldiers already. I told Tallis I needed more than this.
Not much further. Everyone, together!
You're through!
Okay, good. Because you know it's going to be 15 minutes of cutscenes.
Curse this feeble flesh.
Seize the witch. It's time she told us the truth.
What a horrible way to treat a saint.
Your mages have met their end, Cornelia. And soon, so will you. You cannot warp yourself out of this. Now let me ask you again. What became of my stepmother? Does she yet live?
No, long dead, I'm afraid. She killed the husband who kept her from the sweet little daughter she loved so dearly, only to lose her own life at that same daughter's hand.
You can't mean...
Didn't I already tell you? Your stepsister has the answers. So this body has reached its end. How pitifully frail you all are.
Oof.
This strength will ensure nobody dies a needless death.
I'm not stopping now.
One step closer to my goals.
Lady Luck was on my side. Can't let my friends down.
Time to buy some levels. I really do have to buy some of these levels. Alright.
If I seek the truth, I'll have to retrieve it from the Emperor herself. Cornelia said as much before her spirit left this realm. Only a fool would take that temptress at her word. But I do believe there is truth to her claim. Edelgard knows something. The Empire was surely involved in my father's death. And perhaps she was as well.
Hold on, Boar. You owe us all an explanation here. The Emperor is your stepsister?
That's right, they don't know.
My apologies. I suppose I never mentioned it.
Something to conveniently not mention.
So if I've got this straight, after you were born, your dad got remarried to her mom?
Correct. Though the truth of my stepmother's background was never revealed to the public, as you can imagine. Of course, all that is in the past now. There is no reason to keep hiding it from my closest allies.
Your Majesty, if I may, I can handle the explanation.
That will no doubt prove faster. You knew my father many years longer than I did.
It all started 20 years ago, when a dreadful plague ravaged Ferdiad. King Lambert's wife was among those claimed by its spread. In hopes of bringing an end to the epidemic, the king sought experts from across the land, scholars, doctors, mages. Among those, it was an imperial scholar by the name of Cornelia who finally turned the page on our suffering and put an end to the pestilence.
Oh yes, I've heard about that. She helped develop many of the districts in the capital as well, didn't she?
It's a little weird to think she's the one who planned out the places we all lived.
They even used to call her a saint. What could have happened to her to make her so different?
Interestingly enough, she never asked for any kind of reward for her feat. Well, at first. In lieu of any compensation, monetary or otherwise, she requested that we rescue one of her old friends from the Empire. Which is the story of how the late king came to meet his future wife, Lady Patricia. Or should I say, Lady Anselma.
I don't get it. Why would she need saving?
I'm not sure of all the details myself, but I know she was banished from the court after becoming involved in some sort of political dispute. Lambert always did have a soft spot for those in need. And of course, in the thick of all that, the two developed feelings for each other. It's difficult to say for sure if it was love, but it was something. Anyway, that's all I have.
Looking back on the events now, it's hard to know just how much of it was part of Cornelia's plot. In any case, I must learn more about my stepmother's death. I have no doubt it connects in some manner to the truth about the tragedy. Who was Cornelia working for? And what was Edelgard's role in all of it? If I truly want to know, well, there's only one person I can turn to.
You want to get answers from the Emperor of the very region we're at war with? Is that even possible? I mean, Edelgard is our enemy. She and her like have stamped the life out of so many of our allies. And we've done the same to hers. I don't see how the two sides could just sit down for a chat after all that.
Perhaps not. Make no mistake, she is still our bitter enemy. But I've no other choice. We have extracted all the information we could from the Western Lords. And as Cornelia has departed this world, the Emperor is the only one left we can turn to. Gustav, I'll be leaving reconstruction of the West to you and the Baron.
Understood, Your Majesty. Do you mean to make for Aryan Road?
Indeed I do. Even the most impregnable fortress in all Fodlan cannot hold off an onslaught forever. I know not how or when Edelgard will make her presence known, but we must hold the Silver Maiden, by any means necessary.
Oof. Okay. No, she hasn't. Soon.
Azure Gleam. Reunion at the Fortress City. The Kingdom Army crushes the Western Lords, and with them, the budding civil war. But amidst the chaos, Adrestia strikes at Aryan Road. Dimitri marches on the Fortress City at once, and challenges the Emperor herself to save those trapped within the Silver Maiden's walls.
Let's reacquaint ourselves with the situation. Our forces have already pulled out of Arendelle territory and withdrawn to the fortress city of Arianrode. The same city which finds itself now besieged by the Imperial Army.
Most troubling, Your Majesty.
The Knights of Seiros dispatched their very best to the scene, but they find themselves at the sword end of the Emperor's personal guard. Still, the Citadel will not fall easily. The stalemate could continue for some time yet.
Can we really afford to wait, though? Arianrode's supplies have got to be running thin by now.
If we go without proper preparation, the Imperial Army will simply crush us.
Agreed. We should be using the time we have to strike in a manner most favorable to our situation. What we need to do is sever the Imperial supply chain. Then, overwhelm and exterminate the withering remains of Edelgard's army.
Hold on, you want to win the whole war in one go?
Indeed I do. We have been gifted the opportunity of a lifetime, and I do not intend to let it slip through my fingers. It will be a pincer attack, with the fortress at the Empire's front and our battalion at their rear. Even with their larger numbers, we will hold the advantage.
All the more so with the Knights of Seiros in charge of defending Arianrode.
And even if the Emperor herself escapes, we'll have still dealt a huge blow to the Empire's military.
Oh, I feel nervous all of a sudden. I never expected we'd reach a decisive battle like this so soon. Will we truly be able to win?
We can do this. I know we can. The terrain here is in our favor. As long as we press that advantage, we'll come out on top.
Let us rally the troops, Your Majesty.
Yes. Onward to victory!
Woo! Alright.
There we have it. The Empire and the Kingdom finally squaring off in broad daylight. What a fascinating development. And a troubling one.
I am well acquainted with that look of yours, Claude. What could you be scheming this time? If I recall, you made a similar face the other afternoon when we swept aside the Imperial Army ourselves.
Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I'm just contemplating the fate of the Alliance the only way I know how.
Don't worry about him, Lawrence. He doesn't always look it, but Claude takes this stuff seriously. I promise.
She's right, you know. I'm constantly thinking about our next plan of action. Thankfully, the Empire's turned its beady little eyes away from us for now. It seems they're focusing all their attention on the West. And we owe that title shift to Duke Gloucester's feigned betrayal. The former Duke Gloucester, I mean. Thanks to him, we managed to run the Empire clean out of Leicester. But there's more to their strategy shift than that.
Do you speak of the unrest within the kingdom? Such internal struggles would certainly leave them rather defenseless in the wake of an attack. But the situation may change anew at any moment. We mustn't grow complacent. If they emerge victorious against the kingdom, it is difficult to imagine what course of action the Imperial Army would take next.
Yeah. Whatever happens in this battle, it'll shape the future of Fodlan for years to come. I might be brilliant, but even I'm having trouble predicting who's gonna come out on top. But whoever it is, I'd bet anything we'll need to strike a deal to keep them at bay. I guess we should be ready for either outcome. Oh, and Lawrence, I'll be asking all sorts of little favors from you, so plan on being busy for a long while.
If needs must, I would do anything for the Alliance.
We can't stand in the crossfire between the Kingdom and the Empire forever. It's high time the Alliance grabbed the reins of history and started steering in our own direction.
Okay, finally. So I guess the Alliance is starting to move and do their own things now. Alright, Chewie, get down. Okay, I just want to see what supports did we open up. Did we open up any new supports? Alright, we'll work on this later. I have to save, and I gotta go. I gotta be out of here.